Okay. I think we're back. I think we're back, chat. Sorry for the delay. I always feel really bad when anything delays anything. Okay. But we're not on the right. Okay, I think we're so back. I think we're so back. We're so back just to like be completely destroyed. Okay, I'm seeing the rings and the turtles, which I've seen those emojis before. I've seen the rings and the turtles. And the chapter is Rings and New Beginnings. But it's angst. That's a very misleading chapter. That's a very misleading chapter title. Not chapter title, I meant title. Okay, let me put this here. Or maybe put it... shit, this is so hard. Let me put it here. And let me drag this over here. Yes, yes. Chapter was so good that I had a nightmare after it. Guys, what? Who said it was eggs? It's totally happy, promise. Okay. Summary. Change. Verb. Make someone or something different. Alter or modify. Okay, notes. Trigger warning for angst. Extremely accurate representation of PTSD, trauma, and flashbacks. Okay. Okay, yeah. I was prepared for that. I don't know. Okay, I still don't know why everyone is... Something did change. Guys, okay. I'll bring my stuffed toy. Let me change it up. This is a bit small, but maybe... Ooh, guys. Ooh, but... Ooh. Should I bring Minnie this time? I have a Minnie and I have a bear. I have a mouse and then I have a bear. I don't have tissues, but I have my toys and I have water. Bring tissues, please. Guys, I keep saying this, but I don't think I'm gonna cry. Do you know how hard it is to cry in front of 74 fucking people? Like, I am already feeling very perceived and like, you are? I know I made that TikTok being like, I better cry. I didn't actually mean it. Girl, I cried at work for this. Alcohol, if you're into that. I'm not the most into alcohol, and I'm not in the mood for it. I'm already sobbing. No spoilers. I was half asleep reading this. Can we read? Okay, we can read. I'm sorry. I'm delaying it because the chat is going crazy. Okay. Do you know what post-traumatic stress disorder is, Miss Hong? Mira blinked, the words landing muffled like she was underwater. What? PTSD for short, the woman said, voice soft but steady. Mira blinked again, eyes darting around like she had to confirm where she was. A room, neutral colors, a faint clock ticking on the wall, each second dragging like a hammer. She was sitting in a chair, not comfortable, too stiff, the kind that made her back ache. Her stitches ached too, a dull, insistent pull in her side. She didn't want to be here. Mira lowered her gaze to her hands. They sat useless in her lap, fingers twisting together until her knuckles whitened. She nodded, slowly, hesitantly. Yes, I know it. The word felt clinical, detached, like a label slapped on something she didn't want anyone to see. The therapist tilted her head. What happened to you was traumatic. It's still taking your brain time to process that. Traumatic. The word sat heavy in Mira's stomach. She swallowed against it, throat dry. Her brain replayed flashes, knife glinting, hands on her, the sound of metal hitting the floor. Her breath stuttered just from thinking it. Trauma. She hated the word. Too big, too dramatic, too final. She wanted to shake her head, deny it, tell the woman she was fine, that she was strong, that she lived through worse, that it was over, that she should be over it. But her body knew better. The way her chest still locked up at night, the way her hand still shook when she picked up a knife, the way she woke up tasting blood in her throat. Her fingers tightened until her nails dug crescent moons into her palms. She nodded again, stiffly. Her voice barely made it past her lips. I know. The therapist's pen scratched softly against her clipboard, the sound almost louder than her voice. Do you have any coping strategies, Mira? Things you used to do when you were overwhelmed? Mira shifted in her chair, shoulders curling in. She hated talking about herself like this, like she was some case file with symptoms to catalog. Her lips pressed together. She almost didn't answer. Cooking, she muttered finally. It used to help. Cooking, the woman repeated, nodding like she was turning the word over carefully. Can you tell me why? Mira stared at her hands again, twisting her sleeve. Why? Because it was easy. Because she could lose herself in it. Because the sizzle of oil, the rhythm of chopping, the focus it required, it all drowned out the noise in her head. Because it was the only time she felt useful. But the words jammed in her throat. I don't know, it just kept me busy. The therapist hummed softly. And you said used to. Do you feel like you can't now? Mira's breath hitched. She didn't want to answer that, but the silence stretched too long. Her voice cracked when it came out. The knives. The therapist's eyes softened. The knives. Mira nodded once, quickly, and turned her face away. Her throat burned. She didn't want to cry in this office. I can't. She swallowed hard. I can't even look at them. I tried, and I couldn't. The therapist let the pause sit. Then, gently, would you be open to trying other coping techniques? Something that doesn't involve knives? People find journaling helps, or art, even simple grounding, naming things in the room, breathing exercises. Mira's jaw tightened. She shook her head. She didn't want to write her feelings in some stupid notebook. She didn't want to draw or breathe or count chairs on the wall. None of that would help. None of that would feel like cooking did. She muttered, no. The therapist didn't flinch. She only nodded, jotting something down. That's okay. It might take time to find what works for you. Mira chewed the inside of her cheek. Time. Everything was always time. Her voice came out smaller than she intended. How long does this last? The woman looked at her for a long moment, choosing her words carefully. PTSD is usually long-term. For many people, it doesn't go away completely, but she leaned forward slightly. It can become manageable. With the right support, the symptoms don't have to control your life. Long-term, not going away. Mira's stomach sank. Her eyes stung. That meant she'd always be like this, flinching at knives, shaking herself awake at night, breaking down over things that shouldn't matter. Always. She squeezed her eyes shut, hard, as if darkness could block it out. Her fingers dug into her palms until they hurt. She didn't want to hear anymore. Mira didn't say another word after that. Her jaw locked, her fingernails digging crescents into her palms until they ached. She stared at the edge of the desk, at the little stack of tissues and the therapist's patient expression, and refused to meet her eyes again. If she opened her mouth, she was afraid something ugly would come out. Anger, or worse, fear. So she clenched tighter, stayed silent, waited for the clock to let her leave. By the time the session ended, her legs felt stiff, like she'd been sitting in cement. She pushed herself up without a goodbye, without looking back, and walked out the door with her chest buzzing too full, too hot. The hallway outside felt colder somehow, too bright. And then there they were, Zoe and Rumi, sitting together in the waiting area like sentinels. The moment she stepped out, both of them stood, too fast, too eager, like they'd been waiting for this exact second. Her throat tightened. "How was it?" Rumi asked softly, voice careful, almost whispering. Mira didn't trust herself to speak. Her fingers twitched once at her side before she forced her thumbs up. Small, quick, almost mocking. A half-hearted gesture that was over as soon as it started. She kept her gaze down on the floor tiles, anywhere but their faces, especially not Zoe's. Her lip was still healing, faintly swollen, a cut just turning into a scab. Mira's stomach flipped at the sight of it, at the reminder of what she had done, what she was capable of when she lost control. She didn't want to see it again. Guys, I can see the spamming. She didn't want to see it again, didn't want to see her. But they moved toward her anyway, both of them. Warmth and softness and everything she didn't deserve, wrapping around her shoulders before she could step away. Their arms came around her, firm and protective, and too much. She didn't move. Her own arms hung heavily at her sides, loose, useless. The hug pressed in on her ribs, and her throat burned, but she couldn't return it, couldn't make herself lean in, because she didn't deserve this. Not after the knife, not after Zoe's lip, not after all the ways she was breaking apart. She stood there stiffly, letting them hold her, and hated herself for how badly she wanted to melt into it. That's a chapter break, which means we're going to the comments. And it's just a bunch of orange emojis. Thank you, guys. Okay, Zin. So what I've heard is that people are saying that it is worse than chapter 26, which is very scary. Yeah. This is worse than chapter 26. Oh, that's what I've heard. Can't confirm. Oh my god. Okay. It's okay, guys. It's okay. The ride home was silent. Not the comfortable kind they used to have, where Zoe and Mira could sit in quiet and still feel tethered, grounded. This silence felt suffocating. Even the soft hum of the radio couldn't cut through it. A faint melody played low, something mellow, guitar strings plucked lazily, but it sounded so far away it might as well have been leaking in from another car entirely. Zoe's fingers tapped restlessly against her thigh, searching for an outlet, anything to shake off the tightness in her chest as she drove them home. Every few seconds, she glanced sideways at Mira. Her girlfriend, her Mira, sat curled against the window, cheek pressed to the cold glass, eyes staring at something Zoe couldn't see, maybe nothing at all. She hadn't said a single word since they'd left the therapist's office, not one. No sarcastic remarks, no annoyed sighs, not even a muttered, "I'm fine," to shut Zoe up, just silence. Zoe swallowed against the lump forming in her throat, her grip tightening on her jeans. She hated seeing her like this. She hated feeling her like this, because it wasn't just that Mira was quiet. It was the way she was quiet, like she was somewhere far away, like her body was here, but the rest of her was locked behind a wall Zoe couldn't climb. Zoe's hand twitched before she finally slid it carefully across the seat, letting her palm rest gently against Mira's thigh. Just enough pressure to say, "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." Normally, Mira would glance over, maybe give a small squeeze back, maybe roll her eyes, maybe mutter something dry and sarcastic, anything to acknowledge her. But this time, nothing. Mira didn't even flinch, didn't shift, didn't blink. She just stayed there, staring out the window, lost somewhere Zoe couldn't follow. Zoe bit the inside of her cheek hard enough to sting, grounding herself. She left her hand there anyway. When they finally got home, the apartment felt too still, too quiet. The kind of quiet that presses against your eardrums until you swear you can hear your own heartbeat. Mira slipped her shoes off and made a beeline straight for her room. "Mira, wait!" Zoe's voice came out softer than she meant, but Mira paused anyway. She turned halfway toward her, but didn't look up, didn't meet Zoe's eyes. Zoe's chest squeezed at the sight. She couldn't remember the last time Mira had really looked at her. Not since that night. Not since Zoe and Rumi had to wake her up from that nightmare, Mira thrashing, gasping, terrified, and ended up with a busted lip for their trouble. Zoe forced down the memory and stopped the nervous urge to lick at the healing scab. "You wanna watch a movie with us?" she asked hesitantly, her voice careful, testing the weight of each word. Mira stared at the floor for a long moment before glancing up briefly, barely a flicker of eye contact, and shrugging. It wasn't a yes, it wasn't a no, but Zoe would take it. "Rue?" Zoe said softly, turning toward Rumi. "Could you grab us some snacks?" Rumi nodded without a word and padded off toward the kitchen. Zoe reached out and gently took Mira's hand. Her skin felt cold, colder than it should have been, and the lack of resistance made Zoe's stomach twist. Mira just followed silently, letting Zoe lead her like a ghost. She eased her down onto the couch and sat across from her, holding onto her hand like an anchor. "Mira?" Zoe said quietly. Mira tilted her head slightly, not enough to meet her gaze, but enough to signal she was listening. Zoe hesitated, her throat tight. "Mira, look at me, please." For a long moment, Mira didn't move. Her jaw clenched like she was holding something back, her shoulders tight with tension. Then, finally, slowly, she turned her head, and Zoe almost wished she hadn't. Mira's eyes were glassy, rimmed faintly red, exhaustion etched deep into her face. But what got Zoe the most wasn't the sadness. It was the way it looked like it physically hurt her to meet Zoe's gaze. Zoe swallowed hard, her voice trembling as she brought Mira's hand up between them. She pressed it gently against her own lip, right where the scab split faintly under her touch. "Mira?" Zoe whispered, her voice breaking at the edges. "You didn't mean to. You had no control over waking up like that." Her grip on Mira's hand tightened, trying to force the words to land, trying to make her hear them. "You didn't do this with malicious intent," she said, her breath shaky, like she was saying it for the both of them. Across from her, Mira's breath caught audibly. Her lashes fluttered as her eyes squeezed shut, jaw locking hard. Her hand trembled faintly under Zoe's, like she wanted to pull away but couldn't. Finally, Mira shook her head once, sharp and broken, swallowing like she was trying to hold something back. And Zoe realized in that moment that no matter how many times she said it, Mira didn't believe her. Zoe sighed shakily and leaned into Mira, resting her head gently against her shoulder. The fabric of Mira's hoodie was soft and smelled faintly like detergent and peppermint shampoo, grounding somehow. Her hand drifted up to grab the remote off the coffee table, flicking the TV on with a quiet click. A few minutes later, Rumi padded back into the living room, carrying a big bowl of popcorn in both hands. She didn't say anything, just settled silently onto Mira's other side, placing the bowl carefully in Mira's lap like she was handling something delicate. Zoe hesitated only briefly before scrolling through the movie options, then clicked on Ratatouille. I did see Ratatouille mentioned in the comments. And I'm pretty sure Toss was tweeting about Ratatouille. Or I just saw Ratatouille on Twitter, but I remember something about Ratatouille. One of Mira's comfort movies. Oh, right! Toss tweeted about Ratatouille being Mira's comfort movie, duh. Okay. Something safe, familiar, warm. Mira didn't react, but Zoe figured that was okay. Mira didn't need to react right now. She just needed something gentle to sit inside of. The movie started, soft music filling the quiet, and for a while, none of them said anything. Zoe occasionally reached over for popcorn, careful not to jostle Mira, while her own thoughts spun restlessly in circles. She risked a glance at Mira somewhere along the middle of the movie and paused. Her face didn't look as hollow anymore. The stiffness in her jaw had softened, her breathing a little slower, a little steadier. Her eyes actually followed the animation on the screen instead of drifting somewhere distant. Zoe's chest loosened just a little. Progress. And then, out of nowhere, Mira spoke. "You think I could make it?" Her voice was rough, quiet, like unused chords scraping against her throat. Zoe blinked, her brain stalling for a second. Mira talking. Actually talking. She turned her head, almost afraid she'd imagined it. But Mira was already looking at her, really looking this time, like she was tethered back to the room by something fragile and invisible. Zoe swallowed hard, blinking fast to keep the wetness in her eyes at bay. Make what? Mira's gaze flicked to the TV, one finger lazily lifting to point at the screen. "Ratatouille," she muttered, almost embarrassed by the question. "You think I can make it?" Zoe let out a breathy laugh, soft and tender, and nodded without hesitation. "You definitely can. Honestly, you'd probably make it better." That earned her the smallest sound from Mira, not quite a laugh, but close enough to make Zoe's chest ache. Mira reached for the popcorn and popped a few kernels into her mouth, leaning back against the couch. Across Mira's shoulder, Rumi's gaze met Zoe's. Her eyes softened, the corners of her lips tugging into a tiny, tired smile. Zoe smiled back, just as small. Mira was still here. Somewhere under all the weight, she was still here. By the time the credits rolled, none of them moved right away. Mira sat sunk into the couch, loose and quiet, but less tense than before, her shoulder warm against Zoe's. Rumi finally broke the silence with a quiet hum. "All right, my turn." She grabbed the remote, scrolled for a bit, and landed on some obscure indie movie with a name Zoe didn't recognize. Something ridiculous and dramatic sounding like Midnight at the Dandelion Motel. Zoe snorted softly when she read the title, but didn't argue. She didn't want to break the peace. Halfway through the movie, the popcorn bowl sat half empty between them, forgotten. Mira's body leaned more naturally into the couch now, shoulders no longer pulled so tight. Zoe curled up against her side, legs tucked beneath her, soaking up the warmth Mira offered without a word. Rumi rested an elbow on the back of the couch, her fingers tracing slow, absent-minded circles along Mira's arm. None of them said much. They didn't need to. The silence wasn't suffocating anymore. It felt steady, shared, like an unspoken promise passing between them. Okay, guys, chapter break. Anything y'all want to say? I'm scared. I saw Twitter fan art. I think I'm actually going to cry. I almost saw a piece of fan art on Twitter, and then I was like, no, I need to get out. I need to get out of here. Mind you, this is a fanfic, and we are adults. Yeah, exactly. Toss you mastermind. I swear it's a work of art. This is the most beautiful angst, I swear. Okay, Okay. Lele. Hi, Lele. Shout out Lele the turtle. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. May the odds be ever in your favor. The super, it's so good. Oh, this whole section is in italics. I guess I should just mention that. Mira stuck her tongue out slightly, leaning closer to the cutting board as she carefully sliced the carrots into thin, even strips. Probably a dream. Her little hands gripped the knife with intense focus, knuckles pale from how tightly she held it. Across from her, Cindy tilted her head with that warm, easy smile she always seemed to have and nodded approvingly. "That's good," she said, voice soft but full of pride. "Honestly, Mira, I think you were made for this." Mira froze for half a beat, staring down at the carrot slices lined up perfectly on the board. Compliments weren't something she was used to, at least not ones that sounded real. Her cheeks warmed instantly, and she bit the inside of her cheek to stop the smile threatening to creep out. She shrugged instead, keeping her eyes stubbornly fixed on the cutting board. "It's not that hard," she mumbled. Cindy didn't call her out on it, just chuckled quietly, brushing her hands on her apron before tying it a little tighter around her waist. "All right, Chef Mira, want me to show you something new?" Mira nodded quickly, maybe too quickly, and set the knife down carefully. "Okay," Cindy hummed, grabbing a handful of green onions and placing them in front of her. "We're gonna chiffonade these. A fancy word, I know, but it's easy." She picked up her knife, and Mira watched as Cindy's hands moved with practiced ease, rocking the blade back and forth in smooth, fast motions. We have 104 people. Guys, that's a record. We hit 100 people. I'm sorry. My eye caught that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll keep going. Okay. She picked up her knife, watched as Cindy's hands move with practiced ease, rocking the blade back and forth in smooth, fast motions. The soft thunk, thunk, thunk of knife against wood filled the quiet kitchen, rhythmic and steady. Mira leaned forward on her elbows, chin propped in her hands, completely mesmerized. Her eyes followed every movement, the way Cindy curled her fingers just right so she wouldn't cut herself, the way she gathered the onions neatly after each set of slices. It was like watching magic. "You make it look easy," Mira admitted softly. Cindy glanced up with a grin. "That's because I've done this about 1,000 times more than you have, sweetheart. You'll get there." That word, sweetheart, made something small and tender stir in Mira's chest. She swallowed hard and nodded, pretending to focus on the onions again. As Cindy finished slicing, the scent of fresh onions and warm simmering broth filled the air, wrapping around Mira like a soft blanket. It was quiet except for the faint bubbling from the stove and the occasional clink of utensils against pots. Mira sometimes wondered, in moments like this, if this was what it was supposed to feel like with her mother. The way Cindy slowed down to explain every little thing, the way she listened, really listened, when Mira asked why something was done a certain way, like her questions actually mattered, the way she smiled at her mistakes instead of sighing and scolding. It made something cracked inside her chest feel patched up, if only for a little while. She didn't say any of that out loud, of course. She just nodded, pretending she was here to learn cooking and nothing else. But sometimes, when Cindy leaned down to gently correct the way she held a knife or praised her perfectly cut vegetables, Mira felt this quiet, unspoken ache. It was honestly a little sad, she thought, that her only real friend was her family's personal chef. But at 12 years old, Mira didn't mind. Cindy was one of the nicest adults she'd ever met, and if pretending it was normal to spend her afternoons here, learning recipes she'd never even eat, just so she could stay in the kitchen a little longer. Meant she got to feel this tiny sliver of warmth. She'd take it. Sorry, I just saw Adlin in the YouTube chat. Hi. All right, Cindy said, sliding the cutting board toward her. Your turn. I want you to try mincing the garlic. Mira groaned quietly, shoulders slumping. Ugh, I suck at that. You don't suck, Cindy countered gently, already grabbing a fresh clove from the basket. You're just still learning. Big difference. Mira scrunched her nose but didn't argue, accepting the clove when Cindy placed it in her hand. She tried mincing garlic before, tried and failed. The pieces always came out too big or too uneven, and Cindy would have to step in to fix it. Girl, it's fine if garlic's uneven. Sorry, I get distracted so quickly. This time, though, Mira inhaled deeply and set the garlic on the board, lining up her knife carefully the way Cindy had shown her a dozen times. She pressed down slowly, rocking the blade like she'd practiced, forcing herself to keep her movement steady even though her heart was hammering like she was taking a final exam. The rhythmic thunk, thunk, thunk filled the quiet again. When she finally set the knife down, Mira blinked down at the pile of garlic on the board. The pieces weren't perfect, but they were small, consistent even. She'd actually done it. Mira turned to Cindy hesitantly, expecting corrections, expecting to be told it still wasn't right. But Cindy just smiled, soft and proud, reaching out to ruffle her hair. I knew you could do it, she said warmly. Something in Mira's chest fluttered at the words, and she ducked her head quickly, pretending to wipe her hands on her apron so Cindy wouldn't notice the small smile tugging at her lips. It's not that big of a deal, she muttered. It is, Cindy said, crouching a little so Mira had no choice but to meet her eyes. You're learning. You're getting better. That's always a big deal. Mira blinked up at her, caught off guard by how serious Cindy sounded, and then she nodded slowly. Okay. The truth was, it did feel like a big deal. It felt good to be good at something, to try, fail, and then actually get it right, to have someone notice, to have someone believe she could. And maybe that's why she kept coming back to this kitchen, day after day, knife in hand, following Cindy's patient instructions and memorizing little tricks she'd never admit to anyone else she'd learned. Because somewhere along the way, cooking stopped being just another lesson. It became hers. The sizzle of garlic hitting hot oil, the soft rhythm of knife on wood, the quiet comfort of someone standing next to her, guiding without hovering, believing without questioning. This was where Mira felt safe, understood, capable. And even though she couldn't put it into words yet, 12-year-old Mira would remember this moment, Cindy's gentle hand on her head, her warm voice saying, I knew you could do it, for a long, long time. When the minced garlic finally hit the pan, the kitchen filled with that warm, nutty smell Mira loved, the kind that clung to her clothes and hair long after she left. Cindy stirred the pan gently, humming under her breath before reaching for the wooden spoon. Here, she whispered, lowering her voice like it was a secret between them. She dipped the spoon into the sauce and held it out toward Mira. First taste goes to the chef. Mira blinked, startled. But I'm not the chef. Cindy gave her a look, all soft but firm. You helped. You're part of this. That counts. Hesitantly, Mira leaned forward and took a small sip from the spoon. The flavors burst across her tongue, rich, warm, a little sharp from the garlic she'd minced herself. Her chest tightened unexpectedly, and she had to blink fast to keep her eyes from stinging. Well? Cindy asked, watching her closely. It's good, Mira murmured, voice quiet but certain. Really good. Cindy smiled like she'd been waiting to hear that all day. Told you, you're natural. Mira turned her face toward the stove so Cindy wouldn't see the way she was smiling. Small, shy, unguarded. For a moment, it felt like the rest of the world didn't exist. No cold, quiet dinners upstairs. No parents too busy to notice her. No expectations weighing heavy on her shoulders. Just the smell of garlic, the soft hiss of the pan, and Cindy's quiet faith in her. Mira set the spoon down carefully, trying not to let the warm bubbling in her chest spill over. She focused on the pan, pretending she was absorbed in watching the sauce thicken. But her hands were trembling just a little, her throat tight in a way she didn't understand. Before she could second guess herself, she moved. She stepped closer and wrapped her arms around Cindy's waist in a small, tentative hug. It startled Cindy. Mira felt the slight jerk of her body, the pause where she probably wasn't expecting it. Mira froze too, instantly regretting it, ready for the awkward laugh or the "don't do that" she always got from her parents when she tried to be affectionate. Instead, Cindy's hand came up slowly, resting gentle and steady on the back of Mira's head. Thank you, Mira muttered into her apron, her voice muffled and fragile. For teaching me, for listening. She felt Cindy's body relax as she exhaled softly, almost like Mira's words meant something she hadn't expected. You don't have to thank me, sweetheart, Cindy said, her voice low and warm, the kind of softness Mira rarely heard directed at her. I like cooking with you. You're good at this. And you're good company. Mira blinked hard against the sudden prickling in her eyes, squeezing her arms a little tighter. She wasn't used to this. Not being brushed off, not being told to keep her emotions to herself, not feeling too much, just being wanted there. After a quiet moment, Cindy gave her shoulder a little squeeze. Now, she said gently, pulling back just enough to meet Mira's watery eyes. Go grab the basil. Our sauce isn't finished yet, Chef Mira. Mira sniffed and nodded quickly, ducking her head so Cindy wouldn't see how wide she was smiling. For the first time, she felt it deep in her chest. Safe. And that's a chapter break. I see that the YouTube stream is cutting out. I think my internet is cutting out. I think the YouTube stream is very weird right now. Our internet is very, very weird. But yeah, that's very sweet, and that only means that it's gonna get worse from here. You ready? I'm screaming. Bobby's fangirl. I just see a black screen? That's not nice. That's annoying. I'm sorry. Your connection is unstable. I'm getting the your connection is unstable warning. Okay, guys, I know it's gonna get... Oh, shit. I know it's gonna get crazy. I'm gonna check our Wi-Fi real quick because it's also showing me signs in the TikTok. Give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, the Wi-Fi seems normal. It's just very weak. I hope the YouTube is recording because y'all know my thing about the YouTube. It just takes so long to save the chats, save the lives to my phone. But I'm holding on to both my stuffed animals. It was lagging a lot for me earlier. Yikes. Our internet is very weird. It's not showing any issues in the I don't remember the modem, I guess. Here's some turtles. You got this. Thoughts and prayers, my dude. I didn't catch any lag. Okay. If I leave now, I can live in denial. Well, okay. Router, that's what it's called. Yeah. Sometimes I just don't remember certain words, and that's kind of, it definitely says you're alive. I just can't see, so it's probably mine. Okay. I'll hope for the best, and I have my stuffed toys here. Don't worry. Okay, let's go. The first sentence, y'all. And then it was taken from her again. The safety. Yeah. Mira stood frozen in the hallway, just far enough away that they didn't notice her. Her parents sat across from each other at the dining table, their voices quiet but sharp enough to cut. "I've made some space in my schedule," her mother said lightly, flipping through her tablet. "I'll start cooking for the family again." Her father hummed in approval, leaning back in his chair. "Good. Honestly, I've missed your cooking." And he hesitated, lowering his voice like he thought it would soften the blow. "I never really liked Cindy hovering around anyway." Another thing they were taking from her. The sting in Mira's chest burned, but she stayed silent, her fists curling tight at her sides until her nails dug crescents into her palms. She swallowed hard and turned away before they could notice her standing there, spying on a conversation that wasn't meant for her ears. Guys, everyone, boo Mira's parents in the chat. Boo Mira's parents. Boo! Fuck y'all. Boo! Her parents are gonna catch hands again. Boo! Let's go, chat, let's go. We can take them down together. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate y'all. Tomato. Okay. The kitchen was quiet when she stepped in later that afternoon. The sunlight spilled across the counters in soft amber sheets, making everything look warmer than it felt. It should have been peaceful. It should have been comforting. But today, it just felt ironic. Cindy was already there, unpacking her knives and setting them on the counter with practiced ease. She glanced over her shoulder and smiled softly when she saw Mira. I just saw the heart. Oh, thank you. Smiled softly when she saw Mira. "Guess you heard the news." Mira's throat tightened. She nodded, her hands curling into fists again. Cindy didn't comment on it. Instead, she reached out gently, prying one of Mira's clenched fists open and resting her hand over it. "How about one more lesson?" Mira hesitated, blinking up at her, searching her face for something. An explanation, maybe. A promise she wasn't actually leaving. But all she saw was the steady, patient warmth Cindy always carried. Mira nodded slowly. "What do you want to learn?" Cindy asked, tucking a stray strand of hair behind her ear. Mira thought for a moment. Oh, I saw it. Mira thought for a moment, chewing the inside of her cheek before she finally said, "I want you to make me kimchi jjigae." What if I just start a ball? Oh, it's getting laggy. Oh no. That's so sad. Oh no. So we ride at dawn to slap Mira's parents. Yeah, wish kimchi jjigae, guys. Kimchi jjigae. Cindy raised an eyebrow, amused. Me make it? Mira frowned faintly, unsure. Yeah? But Cindy just shook her head, smiling softly. Nope, you are. Mira blinked, caught off guard. You're not going to help me? I think you've had enough lessons, Cindy said, leaning against the counter and folding her arms loosely. You know your stuff, believe it. Her heart fluttered at those words in a way she didn't understand, like something deep inside her was being seen for the first time. So Mira stepped up to the counter and started cooking. At first, her hands shook just a little as she reached for the cutting board, lining up the scallions the way Cindy had taught her a dozen times before. But muscle memory guided her where her nerves faltered. Slice, angle, rock the knife gently. It came easier than expected. She noticed things as she worked. The way the sizzling of the pan sounded familiar, like a memory stitched into her bones. The weight of the knife in her hand felt steady, like an extension of herself. The smell of the broth filling the kitchen wrapped around her like a blanket she didn't want to take off. And Cindy didn't say a word. She didn't hover, didn't correct, didn't take over. She just watched from the other side of the counter, leaning back slightly against the sink, her expression soft and unreadable. By the time Mira set the bowl down, steam curling in the air, her chest was warm and tight in a way she couldn't name. Cindy came over, picked up the spoon, and tasted a small bite. For a second, she said nothing, chewing thoughtfully, brows furrowed like she was really considering it. Mira stared at her, nerves coiling tightly in her stomach, like she was standing on trial. Finally, Cindy smiled and gave her a big thumbs up. It's delicious. I'm proud of you, Mira. The words hit her like something physical. Mira tried to swallow around the sudden lump in her throat, blinking rapidly, but the tears still spilled anyway. She swiped at her cheeks quickly, muttering, "Shut up," under her breath, embarrassed. And then she felt warm arms wrap around her, pulling her close. Cindy didn't say anything for a long moment, just held her, grounding her in a way she didn't know she needed. When she finally pulled back, Cindy bent down slightly so they were eye level. I want you to keep something. Mira frowned, confused, until Cindy handed her a heavy black roll of leather. She took it carefully, unrolling it across the counter. Knives, a full set, sleek, polished steel that caught the light like water. Hers. Mira stared at them, then back at Cindy, tears blurring her vision all over again. I can't, she whispered, shoving them back gently. But Cindy just shook her head, her voice steady. You can. You should. These are yours now. Make sure you take care of them. Something cracked deep in Mira's chest, the kind of ache that came from being seen and loved when you didn't expect it. She nodded quickly, hugging the roll to her chest like it was the most precious thing she'd ever owned. For a moment, she just stood there, breathing in the faint scent of broth and scallions and warmth, committing every detail to memory. This was hers. Cooking was hers. Her knives, her craft, her safe place. Even if everything else kept getting taken away. That's the chapter break. And that's the end of that section. I'm not ready for later. I really hope we see Cindy in current time. Me too. She seems so lovely. Guys, how is the stream quality? How is the audio and how is is it lagging? I'm not ready, guys. We gotta prepare. Ref, do something. Get the tissues right now. Okay, the stream is good. All good on TikTok. Okay, great. I have my animals, y'all. Again, I don't think I'm gonna cry. And even if I cry, I'll grab tissues. Already take your time and deep breath. Okay. Itchy nose. You need ice cream. I do have ice cream. I can do an ice cream moment later if I really, really need it. If I leave now, it never happens. Okay. Okay. Okay. What's the bear's name? I don't know. He doesn't have a name. This is like my family home, so like These aren't like really my animals, like they are like my sisters. A few weeks went by, and Mira was starting to feel like herself again. I'm not ready, but I'm gonna keep going. Her stitches had healed. Sounds great! I bet everything's going to be fine. Her stitches had healed, and we reached 120 people. Okay. She'd gotten them taken out just a few days ago. The skin was still a little tender, faint ridges tracing where the wound had been, but it didn't sting anymore when she touched it. She could even look at her knives now without feeling sick. No dizziness, no tightness in her chest, no flashes of that night clawing back to the surface. Progress. Her therapist would have called it progress. She liked that word. It made everything sound linear, simple, like checking off boxes. Stitches out? Check. No more nausea? Check. Ready to cook again? Double check. Her therapist had said it was going to be a long-term thing, that healing doesn't just happen because you want it to. Mira scoffed every time she remembered it. Other people might get stuck, but she wasn't other people. We know where this is going. It's okay, girl. It's okay. She was fine now. Better than fine. I believe you. Playing Shh by Ray Ami in the background. Oh, she's doing fine, guys. She peeked her head into her room, leaning against the doorframe. Zoe and Rumi were sprawled out on her bed, Zoe lying on her stomach, scrolling lazily through her phone, and Rumi sitting cross-legged with a book resting on her lap. What do you guys want me to make? Mira asked casually. Zoe paused mid-scroll, her head slowly lifting. Make us something? Dinner, lunch, whatever. I'm finally back in action. Mira crossed her arms, like this should have been obvious. Rumi blinked, setting her book down carefully. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Mira nodded, leaning her shoulder against the doorframe. I don't feel sick when I pick them up anymore. Them? Zoe echoed, brow furrowing. The knives, Mira clarified, like it wasn't a big deal. She clapped her hands together once, a spark of her old energy breaking through. Now hurry up and decide before I just go with what I want, which is something spicy. And we all know you two can't handle spice. Mira opened her mouth, the words, maybe you shouldn't yet, right there on the tip of her tongue. But Mira's smile stopped her. God, it had been so long since she'd seen Mira smile like that. Okay, Zoe said softly. Mira's grin widened like that sealed the deal, and she pushed off the doorframe. Zoe and Rumi exchanged a look, a silent one, before both slipping off the bed to follow her. The kitchen was quiet, heavy with the low hum of the fridge. Mira walked in like she owned the space, like nothing had ever happened here that could haunt her. Her movements were confident, too confident, maybe, as she went straight to the knife holder. She pulled one out without hesitation, fingers curling easily around the handle, and held it up to the light. See? Nothing. Zoe's breath caught, because it wasn't nothing. The knife glinted faintly under the kitchen lights, and Mira's hand... God, it wasn't just a slight tremor. Her whole wrist was unsteady, the blade shifting ever so slightly in her grip. It was impossible to ignore once you noticed it, the kind of shaking that came from somewhere deeper. Nerves, adrenaline, memory. Mira? Rumi's voice came out slow, tentative, as if she didn't want to set her off. Your hand's shaking. Mira glanced down. For half a second, something unreadable flickered in her expression, like even she hadn't realized. But then she let out a small, breathy laugh, brushing it off. Well, duh, I'm holding a knife for the first time in like a month, she said, forcing brightness into her voice. I'm fucking ecstatic. Zoe's stomach twisted, unease creeping up her spine. Mira wasn't pretending to be okay. That was the worst part. She genuinely thought she was. She sounded so convinced, so sure of herself, that Zoe almost believed her. Almost. I still don't think this is a good idea, Zoe said carefully, voice low and deliberate, trying not to sound accusing. That was when Mira's smile faltered. Not just faltered, dropped. It was stark, sudden, like someone had flicked a switch. I don't want to keep going. She stared at them, her brows knitting slowly as her grip on the knife tightened, knuckles paling around the handle. I'm finally able to cook again, she said, quieter now, but sharp-edged, like she couldn't believe she had to explain herself. And you guys aren't happy for me? Zoe felt her throat tighten, because Mira wasn't angry. She was hurt, and that made Zoe feel worse. God, she wanted to be happy for her. She wanted to hug her and say, yes, you're doing amazing, to let her bask in the relief she'd worked so hard for. But all Zoe could see was that tremor, the tight edge to Mira's energy, the way her smile looked just a little too fragile. Rumi shook her head quickly. No, we are, it's just, we're happy, Mir. Zoe cut in gently, softer than before. We're just worried. It still feels a little soon. Trauma doesn't just switch off like that, you know? For a second, Mira just stared at them. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't snap. Instead, she huffed out a breath and turned back toward the fridge, muttering under her breath. You two worry too much. I've got this. Zoe's chest ached because she wanted to believe her. She really, really did. Let's hold hands, guys, for real. Mira opened the fridge and stared into it, scanning the shelves like she was looking for something specific. Or maybe just stalling. Her hand finally closed around a cucumber. I'll prove it to you guys that I'm fine. She grabbed a cutting board and set it down, placing the cucumber on top. The knife glinted in her hands as she lined up the first cut. The hesitation was subtle, but there. Her grip just a little tighter than usual. Her shoulders held too stiffly. But then the blade came down once, twice, 3 times. The slices started neat and deliberate, her breathing measured, her jaw set. Zoe folded her arms tightly against her chest, leaning against the counter as she watched. Her stomach nodded with every soft thunk of the knife. She looks okay, Zoe told herself. Maybe this is fine. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Then Mira's pace quickened, the chopping sped up, the blade flashing sharper, faster, until Zoe realized she was holding her own breath. And that's when it started. It came in quiet, like a hush before the storm. Mira's healed scar began to throb, an ache so deep it felt fresh again, a phantom heat blooming along her side like it was splitting open. Her breath caught, uneven, and her chest constricted like a vice had clamped down around her lungs. Her vision wavered at the edges. The kitchen lights blurred. No warning, no control, just there. Her mind split into 2 versions of itself, one trying to stay here, in this kitchen, and the other dragged back into the memory she didn't want to revisit. Metal against skin, a slip, the warmth of blood. Her fingers went slick with sweat around the knife. Mira clenched her jaw until it ached, trying to breathe, trying to focus on the cucumber in front of her, but the sound of chopping had morphed into something else, sharper, louder, heavier in her ears. Come on, she whispered under her breath, like she could will her body to obey her. It was just fine. Zoe pushed off the counter, stepping forward. Mira, I think that's enough. Mira ignored her. Her movements grew jerky, uneven. Don't do this to me, she grit out, her voice shaking now. I can cook. Zoe's chest tightened as she saw Mira's shoulders tremble, saw her breath stutter like she was drowning on air. Mir, stop! I said I can cook! Mira snapped, louder this time, slamming the knife down harder than she meant to. Her breathing quickened, too shallow, too fast, and tears blurred her vision until she couldn't see where the blade landed anymore. Please, she rasped, voice breaking. I was just fine. It was working. Zoe lunged forward, grabbing her wrist before the next chop could fall. The knife slipped from Mira's fingers, clattering against the counter. She stumbled back, palms flying to the edge of the counter behind her as though it was the only thing holding her up. Her knees threatened to buckle. Her lungs burned as she forced each breath in, ragged and desperate. Tears cutting hot lines down her cheeks. She really couldn't cook anymore. She couldn't. Mira stared blankly at the counter, eyes glassy, voice hoarse and low. That was the only thing I had going for me, she whispered, like she wasn't even talking to them, like she wasn't talking to anyone at all. What else am I without it? Her throat bobbed as her voice cracked. I'm useless. The word landed like a gut punch. Zoe's chest tightened painfully. Mira, no, that's not... I'm useless! The shout ripped out of her, jagged and raw, and then she let out a strangled sob, pressing the heel of her hand hard against her eyes, like she could force the tears back. Mira? Zoe tried again, softer now, gentler. That's not true. I need you to take a breath for me. Don't tell me to calm down! Mira's fist slammed into the counter, the sharp crack of it making both Zoe and Rumi flinch. Zoe's heart stuttered. She swallowed hard, staring at Mira, who was now slumped forward slightly, her forehead resting against the cabinet above the counter. Tears streamed down her face, her shoulders rigid, trembling so faintly you'd miss it if you weren't looking closely. For a second, she went so still, Zoe thought she'd shut down entirely. Mira? Zoe whispered, taking a cautious step closer. Nothing. Not even a flicker of acknowledgement. Mira? Rumi said softly, placing a tentative hand on her arm. Mira jerked back violently like she'd been burned. Don't touch me! Her voice cracked, and then sharper, rawer, venom lacing every word. Especially you. Rumi froze, her hand hovering uselessly midair. Zoe's stomach dropped. Mira? She warned. Oh no. Hearing the sharp edge creeping into Mira's voice and knowing exactly where it was headed. Especially you! Mira spun on her, fingers stabbing toward Rumi. This is all your fault! Rumi flinched at the accusation but didn't speak, her lips parting, eyes wide. You, Mira hissed, jabbing a finger against her own chest. You did this to me. Zoe's breath hitched, her own heart pounding now. It's okay. Mira gripped her head with both hands, panting hard, curls falling forward and sticking to her damp cheeks. If you would have just stayed. Mira's jaw locked, her breath ragged as she stared at the knife on the counter like it had betrayed her. Her shoulders were tense, shaking, like the weight of her entire body was collapsing inward. Mira, don't, Zoe gritted out, her voice rough, low, warning. But Mira's voice cracked, frayed around the edges. This never would have happened. She sucked in a sharp breath, chest heaving. I would have been fine. Zoe stepped forward and pushed her back slightly, just enough to break her train of thought. Okay, hey, what we're not going to do is blame, she said, her voice sharp but trembling under the pressure. You, of all people, should know that, so don't do that. For a moment, there was silence. Mira stared at her, eyes wide and glassy. before a small, disbelieving laugh slipped out. Dry, bitter, broken. Oh, no. Her head tilted slightly to the side, like she couldn't believe what she just heard. So you're taking her side now? Mira's voice wavered as she spat it out. That's what this is? I'm not taking anybody's side. Zoe's voice cracked on the last word, raw and loud. Do you even hear yourself right now? Do you? Mira's stomach twisted violently, bile rising in her throat. Her fists clenched so tightly her nails dug crescents into her palms. The words she wanted to throw burned at the back of her tongue, hotter than fire, heavier than lead. Zoe stepped closer, voice breaking. I get that you're hurting, okay? I know you're in pain, but what you're not going to do is taking it out on Rumi, like this was her fault. Her voice cracked again, lower, pleading. You're hurting us too, Mira. The words hit Mira like a punch to the chest. She blinked once, twice, and for the first time, she really looked at them. Zoe stood there with her chest rising and falling hard, her lips trembling, tears pooling in her red-rimmed eyes. Every inch of her face screamed hurt. And then there was Rumi. Rumi had shrunk into herself, arms wrapped tightly around her torso like she was trying to disappear. She wouldn't even look up. Her tears hit the floor silently, one after another, as her small shoulders shook. Mira's throat burned. She was never supposed to be the one who cared for them, protected them, kept them safe, made sure they smiled, made sure they never felt like this. But here they were, standing in front of her, broken because of her. What had she turned into? Her breath hitched as she stared down at her shaking hands. What was wrong with her? Why did everything she touched feel like it rotted in her palms? It was fine before Rumi, before everything changed. Mira squeezed her eyes shut, forcing air into her lungs even though it felt like they were collapsing. All I do is hurt now, huh? She muttered, voice bitter, hoarse. She raised her trembling hand, light catching on the turtle ring around her finger. Her throat tightened. Without another word, Mira twisted it off and set it on the counter with a soft clink. The sound echoed louder than it should have. Zoe's breath caught, sharp and audible. Mira? She whispered, her voice already fraying as tears welled up in her eyes. I see the donations, guys. Thank you. But oh my god, not now. Oh, Mira kept her... Guys, stop. I'm so serious. Mira kept her gaze fixed on the counter, refusing to meet hers. Get out. Her tone was flat, cold, final. Zoe blinked, straightening instinctively. What? I said get out. It didn't sound like her. Zoe let out a short, choked laugh, half disbelief, half heartbreak. You're seriously not gonna pull that bullshit on me right now. Mira blinked slowly, silent. Zoe shoved her shoulder, a small, pained laugh escaping her lips. Mira, come on, she said, voice breaking. Don't do this. Not to me. Mira didn't move, didn't flinch. Zoe's breath hitched, trembling as she searched her face for something, anything. Her gaze darted to Rumi, whose wide, wet eyes pleaded with Mira silently. But Mira's expression was stone. Get out, she said again. Zoe's chest caved in. You're actually doing this? To us? Mira didn't answer. Zoe let out a strangled noise, half sob, half scream, and shoved Mira again, harder this time. And again, her fists bunched up into Mira's shirt, pushing her back until her shoulders hit the fridge. Mira, she choked out, her voice splintering completely. Mira kept her eyes closed, her jaw so tight it trembled. Zoe's grip fisted tighter into Mira's shirt, pulling her close like she was desperate to hold on to something. Hold on to something. Her voice cracked on a whisper. I hate you so much right now. A beat. Me too, Mira muttered softly. Guys, whenever I like laugh or smile, that's like uncomfortable laugh or smile. That's like a thing I have. Zoe froze, shaking all over. Guys, what? Thank you. Zoe froze, shaking all over, before forcing herself to let go, stumbling backward. Her breaths came in broken gasps. Fine, she whispered. Her hand trembled as she twisted the turtle ring off her finger, holding it for a second like it burned, before hurling it at Mira's chest. The tiny clink it made when it hit the floor split the room open. Find help, Zoe muttered bitterly, stepping back. Her voice cracked again when she turned. Rumi, let's go. Rumi didn't move at first. She was frozen in place, wide-eyed and trembling, tears spilling silently down her cheeks. Slowly, she looked at Mira. Mira was already sliding down the fridge, her back hitting the floor, knees pulled up to her chest, head buried into them. Her shoulders shook violently with every silent sob she refused to let out loud. Rumi sniffed softly, wiping at her cheeks with trembling hands. She hesitated for a moment. Then slipped her own turtle ring off and placed it gently on the counter. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. So she ducked her head and left. The kitchen was silent, except for Mira's ragged breathing. This is stupid. This is stupid. The moment their footsteps faded down the hall, silence crashed over the kitchen like a wave. Mira stayed crouched there on the cold tile floor, forehead buried against her knees, her fists clutching the fabric of her sweat so hard her knuckles burned. Her chest rose and fell too fast, air clawing its way in, but never filling her lungs. It felt like the walls were shrinking around her. She should move. She knew she should. But she couldn't. Not yet. Not when her ears were ringing and her body wouldn't stop shaking. Her gaze drifted to the counter, to the 2 turtle rings, Zoe's tossed like a weapon. Rumi sat down gently, carefully, like she couldn't bear to hurt her even now. Her throat tightened. Pathetic, she muttered under her breath, the words scraping out bitter and hoarse. The tremor in her hands wouldn't stop. She clenched them into fists, nails digging into her palms until sharp pain cut through the buzzing in her head. It didn't help. Her mind kept replaying it. Zoe's cracked voice, Rumi's tears, the way they both looked at her like she was a stranger, like she wasn't safe anymore. A strangled sound tore from her throat, and before she knew it, she slammed her fist into the cabinet door beside her. Once, twice, again. Oh my god. The sharp thud vibrated through her bones, but it wasn't enough. Nothing was enough. Stupid, she hissed, hitting it again. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Each word came out louder, rawer, as if she could beat the guilt out of herself, as if she could bleed out the helplessness gnawing at her ribs. Mira's breathing turned ragged, sharp and uneven, each inhale scraping her lungs like glass. Her head dropped forward until her damp hair clung to her cheeks, strands sticking against her skin as if even her own body refused to let go. It was like she wasn't inside herself anymore, like her body belonged to someone else entirely. A storm churned under her skin, adrenaline, shame, and anger all colliding violently, drowning out any sense of reason. Her fists trembled at her sides, knuckles bone white from clenching too hard. Fuck! The word ripped from her throat, harsh and raw, but it didn't make the pressure inside her chest ease up. Her voice cracked halfway through, like even her anger had splintered. And then it hit her. She just shoved away the two people she cared about most, the only people who stayed. Her stomach dropped, nausea rising sharp and acidic as the thought lodged deep in her chest. God, what the hell was wrong with her? She didn't even feel like herself anymore. She hated this. She hated the tremor in her hand. She hated the way her chest caved at the sound of her own name in Zoe's voice. She hated that she couldn't stop hurting people she loved without meaning to. Mira slid down onto the cold kitchen floor until her knees were pulled tight against her chest, arms wrapped around herself like she could hold all the jagged pieces together if she just squeezed hard enough. She buried her face against her legs, sobbed until her throat felt raw, until her body ached with the effort, like she was gasping for air she couldn't seem to pull in. Her stomach churned, threatening to turn itself inside out, but nothing came. Just hollow heaving between broken sounds. And still, it didn't stop. What if I don't go? Hi. Reminder author. Yeah, don't be mean in the comments, guys. Guys, don't be mean in the comments. Oh. Oh. Sorry, I just. They got away. Oh no. Artie, I'm sobbing. I'm Antler just on my alt. Oh my god. There's no one mentioned the subway around me. Oh my god, y'all. Oh my god. What, Artie, how do you feel, Elmo? I just know that they're going to be fine eventually, so I'm like trying not to think about it. You're doing so good. Don't go bald, dude, guys. Guys. Was that the end? It wasn't the end. I just took a break. We're very close to the end. It will only get better after this. Is this... I hope this is the lowest we're gonna go. We have 160 people here. Guys, are we all crying? Mama Cindy. I'm crying in the club. What if my outro music was the subway? We could all cry together. I'm gonna keep going. We're so close to the end. And my YouTube stream went down, but I'm not gonna, at this point, I'm just gonna download this stream and upload it. Heidi Gaff. Okay. Rumi followed Zoe silently down the hallway, wiping her eyes with the sleeve of her hoodie. Every step felt heavy, muffled, like she was underwater. She didn't even know how to process what just happened. Zoe wasn't crying. She wasn't talking either. She just kept walking, fast and tight, like if she stopped, she'd shatter right there in the middle of the hall. Inside the elevator, Rumi risked a glance at the reflection in the metal doors. Zoe's lips were pressed into a hard, thin line. Her jaw was locked tight, shoulders rigid, and her hands kept clenching and unclenching at her sides like she couldn't decide between holding on and letting go. Her eyes were dull, red-rimmed, drained. "Can you—" Zoe's voice cracked slightly before she forced it steady. "Can you call Ginu and ask if we can stay at his tonight?" Rumi blinked, startled, but nodded quickly. "Yeah, I can." She dug her phone out of her pocket with trembling hands, sending a flurry of quick texts. By the time the elevator dinged, Ginu had replied. "He said he'll come get us," Rumi murmured softly, her voice quiet in the sterile silence. Zoe gave a shaky nod, staring at the elevator doors before glancing at Rumi. "And it wasn't your fault, Rumi." Her voice wavered on her name, like saying it hurt. "Mira, she stopped, swallowing hard, and tried again. "She didn't mean it. She's just—" Zoe ran a trembling hand through her hair, pressing it over her mouth like she could hold the rest of the words back. I don't know what she is right now. I'm sorry." Rumi didn't answer. She just gave Zoe's free hand a squeeze, wincing when she felt it trembling in her grip. Zoe's lips twitched into something almost like a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I gotta go see if I left something in my car, okay? Stay here." Rumi hesitated, but nodded, watching her slip through the sliding doors and out into the night. 7 minutes passed. Oh no. Oh no. Zoe still hadn't come back. I'm preparing myself for the worst. Rumi chewed at her lip, glancing at the elevator doors, before finally pushing through the sliding glass doors and stepping out into the night. The parking lot stretched far. Oh my God, I can't read. Parking lot stretched wide and quiet beneath the faint orange glow of the overhead lights, the distant hum of traffic barely reaching her ears. She glanced around, unsure which car was Zoe's, until she spotted dark hair a few spaces away, faintly illuminated under the street lamp. Zoe sat on the pavement, back slumped against her car tire, knees pulled tight to her chest. At first, Rumi thought maybe Zoe had just needed to sit down and breathe, but then she noticed the way her shoulders shook, small and uneven, like she was trying and failing to keep herself together. Her hand hovered uselessly at her side, phone clutched tight but forgotten. She couldn't move, couldn't even call her name. The quiet between them was almost deafening, filled only by the sound of muffled sniffles carried faintly on the night air. Rumi took a slow step closer, and then another, until she was close enough to see Zoe's face turned slightly away, her hands digging into her knees, nails leaving faint crescents in the fabric of her jeans. Tears clung stubbornly to Zoe's lashes, catching the dim glow of the lights above. She wiped at her face harshly with the heel of her palm, like she could force herself back into control, but it only made her shoulders tremble harder. Rumi swallowed harder, her own chest aching with something heavy she couldn't name. She'd never seen Zoe like this, not even close. The Zoe she knew filled every room she walked into. She was loud, bright, impossible to ignore. A storm of chaos and warmth that somehow held everyone together without trying. But this was a Zoe stripped down to the bone, cracked open in a way Rumi didn't know how to reach. Rumi stayed there, frozen, just a few feet away, helpless to do anything but watch as Zoe buried her face in her arms and cried harder. And for the first time since they'd met, Rumi realized she didn't know how to fix this. The note being, I can explain. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Hi, Reginu, thank you. I can explain. You can explain. No. Child, let her cook. Child, let her cook. I drown the bad feelings by laughing it away. Explain it, girl. Yeah. Sometimes when I get upset, I just shut down. So that's what is happening. Yep, that's it. Y'all, Toss is taking a break after this chapter, so let's be patient. Let's be patient with her. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. I think they're gonna be fine. This was rough. I'm boiling my patience as we speak. Guys, please be nice. Please be nice. Love your writing. You can feel the yeah. At least I'm going to the sing-along in a couple of hours. Is it bad that I need Zoe to go off to Mira in next chapter because she's been holding everyone together? Oh, sorry. Toss, you deserve a... Yeah, Toss, take your flowers. Take your time, Chef Toss. I don't know if Toss is still here, but if she is, good chapter. Good chapter. They're gonna be fine. I need everyone to hug Zoe. I need everyone to hug, period. I need everyone to hug, period. I'm worried because they left Mira alone. I'm very worried. The last time Mira was left alone, she was not having a good time. She has Nimbus, that's true. This time I swear I can't get any worse. Thank you, Toss. Mira does have Nim. But is that okay? Mira is going to sleep alone. Guys, don't see. I'm worried about her. My baby girl. She's not having a good time anyways. Oh my god. Toss, they jumping me. They jumping me. She does have Nim. Okay, yes, she does have Nim. But... Justice for Mira. How much worse? Wait. How much worse would it have been if Zoe won the oil? Zoe won the oil? Sorry, I'm very confused. My brain not working. Toss, you amazing chef. Enjoy your break. Yeah. The poll. No, the vote. Wait, what? Oh, won the poll, not the oil. Oh, wait. I'm gonna go back to the polls because I keep forgetting the polls. Like, I do the polls and then I just, poof, they disappear from my mind. So I'm gonna check the polls. I'm also gonna check the fan art. That's what I like to do after I finish these chapters. So let's go over there. Toss. Hi, Toss. Toss, lots. Here you are. Okay, oh, oh, guys, this fan art of Rumi, this is the one that I like, oh, yeah. This is the one I, like, kind of saw. It's, God, that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. Zoe Nimbus, children of divorce. You guys are so evil. You guys are so evil. Anyway. Oh, okay. Okay, one of the tweets says, yeah, so you see what happened was, and then, yeah, but, yeah. And this was like the peak of angst, so it gets better, and I promise you'll be getting deserving tooth rotting fluff and smut after this. Thank you, Toss. Yeah, that's what I think. The thing is, I can keep myself together because I know they'll be happy, duh. I know they'll be happy. I feel like I've been in, like, worse situations than this because, like, I don't know. I feel like I was really losing it when they, like, I was really losing it, like, during when the Mira stuff happened, when she was, like, isolating herself. And then the whole, like, Rumi went away and Mira was alone losing her shit and, like, staying up all night. That kind of, like, was breaking me. But I know it'll be better. I normally hate third act breakups, but this one was done so well. I'm really happy with it narratively. I am happy with it. I think it makes sense. Like, maybe, I don't know. I just feel bad because they left Mira alone in that state. Somebody play Happier by Marshmallow. No. That's what I do with shows. Something bad happens, but I know they'll be fine because they're the main character. Exactly. Like, we know there'll be happy ending. We know there will be happy ending. Oh, this one, the Mira one is really good too. Oh my god. Fan artists are so talented. This is really good. The face. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh. Hi, Nicholas. I didn't see that one before. Anyway, I'm just checking. The fact that you made it to, like, K-pop Demon Hunter Struggles account simply for posting this chapter is so funny to me. Let the girl eat bathroom artists. She probably shouldn't be alone, but she needs to figure it out herself. She does need to figure it out herself, but I don't know. I don't want her to do anything drastic. Like, she probably won't. Let the girls eat bathroom oranges. She needs to want the help. It's complicated. It's very complicated. None of them deserve what's happening, but Mira needs space, and so do the girls. They do. I'm so conflicted. It's so complicated. It's so complicated. I think that's something I appreciate with, like, any kind of writing. It's complicated. It's all so complicated. Genie gonna be mad because he told them not to break Rumi's heart period. PTSD is hard and affects everyone so deeply, yeah. Yeah. And, like, isolating yourself because of PTSD is very real. Yeah. Can I just say, I think hating on Toss for this is ridiculous. There's no reason to hate. There's no reason to hate. I know that there was something happening with the tags. Like, I think, like, she forgot to, like, tag it or something. And, like, she realized it later, which I appreciate. I still don't think that makes it a good reason to hate. Let's all hug. Yeah, let's all hold hands. Um, yeah. Yeah. I can't tell if it's a joke anymore or not. Yeah. Yeah, that's always the thing. That's always the thing. Give Toss a group hug. Let's all give a group hug. Yeah. Group hug. Group hug and Toss is in the middle. Toss should write books. Period. Well, it can't get any worse, right? So only ups from here, right? Yeah, I genuinely don't think it's gonna get any worse. Everyone loves Toss. Yay. Toss group hug. Yay. We defend our chef with the break. Yeah. So now I get the thing with the rings and the turtles. Hate Toss? Nah, we worship Toss. Aw. We love you, chef, but maybe less bricks. You do need the bricks to occasionally get to the fluff. I'll check the comments. 500 comments. 500 comments under this chapter. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so scared. Oh my fucking god. Stop. My heart hurts so bad I can't even give proper feedback. Oh, the comments are tears on my Polytrix eyes. Guys, they're gonna be even stronger after this. The like to comment ratio on Twitter is crazy. Okay. Sorry, I just saw the comment. Oh my god, more soup. Reply comment. Oh, okay, never mind. Fuck you. Guys, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. And also, here's the thing. I maybe would have cried if I was reading this by myself, but the thing is, I just keep seeing myself. I just keep seeing myself, like, right next to the text, and I'm like, this is so... It feels so weird. Batsu, bad, get back. It don't bite. Yes, it do. I'm imagining the girls digging up Cindy and Mira meets her again. Ooh. Love the theories. Toss, write these down. Whoever said they love my fix, thank you. I lost a comment. Everything was moving really fast. Yeah. Oh my god! Thank you! I actually read one of your fics yesterday, Reef. I won't say which one. I won't say which one. I'll let you figure that out. Anyway, couples therapy. Cindy got to have more importance as a side character. Y'all, she needs to enlighten Mira. I really hope Cindy shows up. Really hope she shows up. Selentos casually slapped us and are giggling behind the screens. No, like literally. Literally. I love you guys just like conspiring. Conspiring in the Twitter DMs. Then Cindy dies. No, nope, that's not happening. That is not happening, guys. That is not happening. Oh my god, hi Nat. Hi again, how's it going? Well, just finished. We finished. Yeah, everyone, Reef's name is Reef Writing. Reef Writing is the same on AO3. We were planning to flee the country. I mean, nah, guys, it'll be fine. Guys, let's all remember, let's all hold hands and remember that this is a fictional scenario about fictional characters. even though that's kind of hard to admit because they're very much real. But they're fictional. But they're very much real to us, but they're fictional, okay? There's no reason to like dox the authors and shit. An entire name change. Cindy was in a bad place after she lost her job and her brother stabbed her. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's crazy. They are real in my heart. No, they are. They are. But also, it's not worth it. It doesn't justify hating on fanfic authors. Fictional characters equals real pain. And then they're giving us all this beautiful writing for free. Zero hate, all love. Beautiful. Period. Yeah, and voice. It was real to me. Chat, read My Voice Without the Lies by Steph, last name on AO3. I have that saved. I have so many fics saved, guys. I keep getting recommendations. And I keep saying this, but I am a very slow reader. So I still have to catch up with, read the last chapter of When the Sky Breaks West. I haven't done that yet. I said that I would, and then I didn't because I was busy all day. I was outside all day, but I'm gonna do that. Like, even keeping up with fics is, like, a lot. I can't. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! Period. Fanfic's so heart-wrenching you have to watch the movie in between to cope. Real. I've been putting up... Chat, I need your help. How do I start? How many artist sauce fanfics are there, guys? What is happening? What is happening? Oh my god. I'm gonna put... Thank you, guys. Mwah! Thank you for your service. Gonna put you guys over here, and I realize I haven't drank my water at all during this live. How did I survive that? How did I survive that? Okay, now how do we send you stuffies? Fan group hug after chapter 26. Then another after chapter 30. Doomed already saw snakes. Guys, you guys are so funny. I need more fluff fanfic recommendations. I was running out of fanfics. If anyone has fluff recommendations, leave it below. I know that Reef definitely has some fluff. What is worse, physical pain or poly-lesbian situation? Go read It's the Little Things for Fluff. Yeah, also that, yes. Go read Toss's other one-shot. It's the Little Things. They have a baby in that one, and it's so cute. A baby, 4 years old. That's baby to me. She's 4 years old, but that's baby. LMAO fanfic streamer Zoe, that too. Read Toss's other fics. Toss has some fluff. Artist sauce fix, but it's Toss stabbing you this time. What? Toss discovers where I live and is like, actually, I hate you for these streams. Bam, bam, bam. Nari. Toss off the X and the fluff. Yeah, guys, check out other fics, yeah. If y'all want Selena and Rumi's mom angst, read Golden Girl. I do need to read a Celine Myung fanfic, so I'll take note of that. Golden Girl, Gwen Strikes Again. Gotcha. Golden Girl, Gwen Strikes Again. The AO3 search function strikes again by being bad. Okay. Nice. Okay, mark for later. Sorry. Wait, what are you saying? Have you guys selling demos fix? Go read now. Yeah, I'm caught up with Cells fic. Gotta catch up with demos. Geekstone, you're setting them up. Wait. The Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls. I'm gonna get to that. That is the one that keeps being recommended to me by Reef. I might do that on live since Reef is also here all the time. Artie, have you read the new chapter of If It's Nice to... I have. And I talked about it very briefly at the start of the stream. Toss, demo, and sell big 3 for KBDH fanfics. At this point, yeah. They're my big 3. LOL searches evil. Two's company, but with arty sauce and brick throwing. I need to read Demo's other fic. That's what I have to do too. Okay, but chapter 20. I have to... Yeah, everyone talking about cell spec. Ooh, yes, please do it on live. I'm so behind on the comments. If It's Nice, do it twice. Demo's ED one-shot is really good and I highly recommend. I need to read that. I love reading ED shit as like someone who had an ED and like is kind of recovering from it. I love reading ED stuff. So I'll definitely read that. Not probably yet. Like... Okay, I thought you were spoiling something. No, you weren't. Okay. Yeah, Demo's done a lot. Demo's done a lot to Zoe. No, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. I just need to like read the last chapter. That's where I am. But baby, I can build a castle with all the bricks. Polytrix fanfics threw at me. Yeah. Devo is scary. I'm never crossing Devo. I read it with my jaw dropped. Which one, Toss? The last chapter of When the Sky Breaks West? Is it that one? Hey, I'm behind. Who's Demo? Demo is the author of When the Sky Breaks West and also The Space Between 3, which I haven't read yet. I am going to. They found her in the... Guys, I'm gonna get to they found her in the dirt by the tree. I am. My question about that is, do y'all want me to read that on live or read that by myself? Because I know that shit is heavy. No, they didn't. On live, yes, live. You should read the sequel too, live 100%. We heard together. Okay. Okay. Right now, my live plan is, like, obviously we have Two's Company. We have Unchanging Polaris going on. I'm gonna continue Unchanging Polaris. I'm gonna do The Art of Spoiling Pretty Girls because Reef is already here, and I've been recommended that a lot. So I'm gonna do that. And then maybe They Found Her in the Dirt by the Tree. Do you post VODs? I do. They are on my YouTube. I either just leave the live streams that I do on YouTube, or if I'm like, nah, I need to upload the TikTok live stream, I upload the TikTok live stream. Zoe pressing Mira against the fridge? What? Okay, I need to know, are you still reading or am I horribly late for this one too? I am finished reading. We are chatting. I don't like the trees. You guys know how to get notifications for TikTok streams? Is TikTok not sending notifications for streams? That's so weird. Because it's telling me that it is. And I also like post a TikTok like at least half an hour before the stream. I can like give more of a... I can be like an hour before the stream, but like... I can also tweet. I can tweet being like, the stream is starting. I don't know if that will be helpful, but I can do that. Guys, there's so many comments. Sorry, I'm a boomer with technology, so I don't know. Did you guys read the other fic with Nari? Yes. I did. I actually read that yesterday. I read that yesterday morning for me, so it was a smaller stream. Tweet would be amazing. Okay. I only knew it started because I have YouTube notifications on. Oh, I see. When darkness meets the light by light of the world, Emerald Star 98. I'll take note of that. When darkness meets the light of the world. There are so many recommendations. Darkness. The light of the world. I see. I see. I love Nari so much. I hope there's more. We're still 80. We're 70. Gotta dip, y'all. Bye. Sorry. You have to select all notifications on your page. It's the little bell. Same here. We're still 80. I couldn't hear the beginning of you reading it. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm gonna upload the full stream on YouTube. So if you want to go to my YouTube, which is linked in my bio. My YouTube is in my bio. If you want to go to my YouTube and see the streams there. Well, I guess I'll just be here listening to the yapping. Sorry. Hi, Artie. Hi, Reeve. Chapter 30 was not sweet or easy on the eyes. I'd say it was hideous on the inside. Nice. Nice one. Not the whole door. Sometimes I see comments in the chat and I'm like, I don't remember what you're answering here. I love all these streams so much. I love seeing you cold read these fics. Thank you. What's your Twitter? My Twitter is artisanal. I did finish the chapter. My Twitter is artisanal. That is my name, Artie, and ZANAL. It's like a pun. It's artisanal, but it's artisanal with my name. Would you still love me if I were a demon worm? Artie, I love your narrating. The emotion in your voice is perfect. Thank you. Thank you. With this one, I was like, I wasn't getting too quiet, right? Because I was like, oh, at some points I thought I was getting a bit too quiet. Toss was listening to Takedown while writing chapter 30 and we were the demons, period. That's funny. Were you starting to cry? Maybe. But like I said, it is so hard to cry when you see your face right in front of you. And also like chapters spamming oranges and shit. Comments spamming oranges and shit. Like it's... So I'm like... I might have gotten close. The way you voiced Mira's crash out was chef's kiss. Guys, thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just fic shopping in this comment section. Good. The comment section is good for fic shopping. Would you still love me if I were a demon worm? I'm gonna look that up. Would you still... That's such a cute name. Love me if I were a demon worm. Beautiful. Mark for later. So many fics in my mark for later. Any other reads you would recommend? Reading hurt but listening finish. Reading hurt but listening finished me off. Props to you guys. This chapter hurts more because of the way you read it, guys. Thank you. I know doomed artist sauce isn't somebody's plans now, guys. You're so funny. If I join, I'll get flames. From Fanfiction to Love by Lucy Slake. That's my fanfic. From Fanfiction to Love. Wait, have you put it out already? You setting me up. Wait, am I setting you up? Sel, am I setting you up? What's happening? What's happening with Sel? You're setting me up, Artie. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Wait, I'm so confused. I'm trying to remember what I said. If I join, I'll get flames. Wait, Sal, what do you mean? It said you requested me to join the live. No, I didn't. I didn't. Did I? Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't. And if I did, it was a mistake. I'm so sorry. It wasn't on purpose. I'm so sorry, Sal. I didn't, I'm sorry. It had the accept thing. What? Guys, I'm famous. Huntrix fan left kudos art. Wait, okay, so I need to look up this one. I'm sorry, Sal, gonna get back to you. I need to get back to. From fanfiction to love. So you have this out already? From fanfiction to love. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Are you mad? I'll get fired. Still giving mirror from streamer Zoe effect. It is. I am just bad at technology. Yes, Danny, I'm just bad at technology. Sell and toss. Put Artie in your fanfics. Oh no! Guys, I'll actually die. Toss did that, and I literally started screaming. Y'all know that. But I'll show you guys this. Wait, had someone on Tumblr app me as Orange Nation, and I was like, yes. That's crazy. I don't have Tumblr. I've never been a Tumblr girly. I'm so sad I can't hear her voice, Artie. Oh, I'm sorry. She'll be a cameo on streamer, Zoe. Toss, you're gonna make me cry. Toss, you're gonna make me cry. Toss, I will lose my shit. Toss. Thank you for the pepper. Toss, you know that I'll lose my shit, right? I'm so sad I can't hear your voice, Artie. That's so weird. Can anyone else hear? Also, I'm gonna plug this in. I saw you. Workplace watching, yay. Oh, I see. Okay, I showed you the SS on Twitter. I'll go over to Twitter. Yes, I hear. Thank God, I don't have my earphones on. It's working for me. Okay. Toss, I'm gonna check my Twitter in a second. Let me show this real quick. Guys, what the fuck? Guys, what the... Orange Nation is the name. 70 words. 70 words. That's a bit short. Oh my god. Oh, okay, so you have it out, but like, oh, you have it out, but you haven't written it. I see. Okay, let's read this real quick. Let's read the tags. My first AO3 post, my first fanfic, other additional tags to be added. Bad grammar, I don't know how to write on AO3. Alternative universe, they went to the same high school. I am dying. Online dating, online friendship, first dates, crack ship. Fluff and crack, friends to lovers, tooth rotting flub. Sharing. Guys, what the fuck? I'm bad at titles, author is lazy. Toss's name is Toss because I don't know where I Oh my god. This is so funny. Okay, I'm gonna flip it back to me just so you guys can see me. That is so funny. I'm losing my shit. I got this idea while watching Artie's TikTok live earlier. If this is corny, that's on me. If Artie or Toss is reading this is just for funsies and I don't mean to make either of you guys uncomfortable. Got that, baby. It's fine. I'm having fun. I'm personally having fun. Also, I have no idea what I'm doing. This will probably become a series, but I don't know. Also proud to say that I was the OG creator of this ship. That is true. Toss lots of sauce. You have one chance to name yourself in this fic. Lol. No, guys, don't force Toss to dox herself, please. I'm comfortable with my name being out there because I'm like ID Gaff. ID Gaff. How do I explain to people what just happened? This is beautiful. Chapter 1, Introduction. I have some things planned for this, but updates will be random. I will try to update every week, but I'm somewhat busy since school started last Wednesday for me. Good luck with school, girl. Also, wonderful ladies here are Artie Zara on TikTok and Toss Lots of Sauce here on AO3. They are Sigma. They are Sigma and make peak stuff. Like, they're literally the toughest alphas out there. Oh my god, I'll show you. They are Sigma and make peak stuff like they're literally the toughest alphas out. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Until next time. Leave kudos. I just died. Incredible. Chef's kiss. Oh my god. In that universe, Artisara took all of Toss's bricks, so we are all fine. Ooh. I'm sweating so bad. This is oh, and it's also 11:46 p.m. over here. Yay, I'm so famous. How are there 64 still here? Hey, whoever's still here just got to read see me read. They are Sigma and make peak stuff like they are literally the toughest alphas out there. So y'all are the lucky ones. Crazy how Toss made some people become friends, yeah. Being there when at hashtag Artie Sauce launches, so yes. Here's the thing. I'm definitely gonna make a clip of when that happened. Because it was so funny. I just like I don't know, I haven't made it yet. I am gonna make a clip of when that happened because I'm just like I was losing my shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I have no friends to talk about this, guys. They won't understand. Sam, oh bye. I don't know if you hopped off already, but bye. Get some food. Artie, bad toss. How many times do I have to tell you that throwing bricks is bad? Oh my god. Toss's existence changed the fanfic game forever. Real. I keep... Oh my god. Toss's existence changed the fanfic game forever. Real. I keep leaving. Keep up. Turns out you're stuck on my For You page. Hey, it's an honor. Toss, but I kissed it. That is so funny. Artisauce. Haven't heard that name in a long time. This is giving when Zoe said, no, bad Saja boy. Yeah, that's so funny. So we all writing Artisauce, or is it just me and #1 Huntrix fan? It might just be you guys. And I'm fine with that. Real, all my friends ship Ruginu. Listen, Ruginu isn't a bad ship. I just think that Polytrix is better. I swear throwing up on this live will never be forgotten by my sister. What? Dare I say Toss and Cell need to do a joint fanfic? Yeah. I would be very up for that. If Toss and Cell, I don't know if you guys are still here. If you guys are still here, and if you decided to do a joint fanfic, I am simply two-seated. They're trying to get me out, but I am two-seated. The fic is writing itself. Wait, Toss just left an emoji to that. That's... I bet you my girlfriend will ship Abby and Genu and not understand the polyamory. Hey, I think Abby and Genu is cute. I do think that is actually cute. Did you see what Ray Ami said about Polytrix? Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I think we need to feed her fluff, guys. I think that's how we make it up to her. Because that girl... Oh, Toss. I love that Cell and Toss are like... Guys, we're seated. We're seated. Think about the fams. Yuri, I want more Yuri. See? Cell is with it. Do it. We are. Yay! Wait, sorry. I'm like just catching up, but hell yeah. Thank you. Hell yeah. Please, please write something together. Please. Please. Please. Wait, any Artemis fans? They did a video of the Demon Saja boys from Your Idol. I need to check that out. I didn't become... I haven't been up... I haven't been very, like, informed about recent K-pop because I'm just, like, too many things going on. But, I liked some of Luna's stuff, and it's really funny that I haven't checked Artemis out, considering that Artemis is my name. But I'll check that out. Thank you for the confetti, Nat. Thank you. We need it to become an audiobook by you if they make it. Guys. Here's the thing about the podfic idea. If it's not too long, I'll do it. If it's not too long, I'll do a podfic. If it's like, for example, I keep saying that like I cannot do a podfic of Two's Company just because it's like I will die. I will die before I can finish it. It's just too long. But if it's not too long, I'm sorry, I'm catching up with the comments. Guys, I'm actually happy I'm screen recording and I'm sending it to my friends. Toss, is there gonna be more Nari? I bet you said that there will be more streamers, Zoe, which I'm so up for. But maybe more Nari? Maybe more Nari? Maybe more Nari? I'd be up for more Nari. What a sweetheart. Cutie pie. Watching this at work has been sad but exhilarating. I don't know what is happening, but I love it. That's so funny. Toss lots of sauce. Real question. How does it feel to have 500,000 hits on Two's Company? That's crazy. Congratulations, dude. That's wild. Do you guys want more of Nari? Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. I love Nari. I love Nari. That's like sweetie pie. That's so cute. Streamers, oh yes. I love. Yes, please. Yeah, everyone's saying yes. Everyone's saying yes. Artie, I love your life so much. Thank you. That's Antler, right? That's Antler, right? Thank you. Yeah, everyone's saying yes, Toss. Now you gotta write the Nari fic. Insane. Yeah. What's the word? Yep, I'm Antler. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Celine. Okay, y'all, it's 11:52 p.m., which is crazy. I just finished a new chapter, and what the hell? Hi, welcome. Nari's such a sassy being, and I love her for that. Nari's so cutie pie. I know Toss wasn't here when I was reading the Nari fic. That should be on my YouTube lives. I was recording that one. But it was so lovely. It was so cute. I love anything with kids. I don't like actually want kids of my own, but they're so sweet. Like, I wouldn't want kids of my own because I can't put my own life into order. So I'm like, I can't have a kid, but like anything with kids, I love kids themselves. That's the thing, what I'm saying. Insane. It's 5 p.m. here. Well, that would mean you are in the EST time zone, or like EDT or whatever. You're in the Eastern time zone. I am not. I'm 7 hours ahead. It's crazy how it's 5 a.m. here. Cheeky. Oh no. I made Cheeky stay up late again. I shall be crucified. I made Cheeky stay up late again. No. Same. I didn't notice how time passes by. Here's some water. It's 1 p.m. here. Yeah. So 1 p.m. Geekstone, where are you? Because 1 p.m. is 11 hours ahead? Yeah, 11 hours ahead. 4 p.m. over here. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost midnight here. Yeah, if it's almost midnight where you are, that means you and I are in the same time zone. It's 5 p.m. here. Is everyone's time zone different? Everyone's time zone is different. This is a universal thing. We're going global with this fanfic. My little darling, and a reminder of you and me. Wait, what? It's almost 12 for me. Yeah. We are in the time zone, yeah. East Coast, baby. It's 5 p.m. here. I'm PDT. It's 1:55 p.m. for me. It seems like I did this. It's always hard to choose what time to do these lives. Because, like, if I do it too early, then the US isn't awake yet. If I do it too late, I know that I have viewers in Australia and the Philippines, so I'm like, but this was a fun little live. We reached like 160 people, which was wild. We have the same time zones, clutching at the little happiness I have left. Where is everyone? I'm in Turkey or Turkey. Where is everyone? The US isn't awake yet. We don't sleep. Yeah. Max at 165. That's wild. Lebanon here. Yes, I know Selena's Lebanon. Lebanon, another Lebanon. Beautiful. Last time we had someone in Bulgaria and someone in Hungary. Are you Turkish or do you just... I'm Turkish. I actually live in New York. Caribbean. Whoa. Awesome. Colorado. Greece here. England. Buffalo, NY. Philippines. Ya Çiki, we know that. I feel so bad. Oha, merhaba. Merhaba. Evet, merak ediyordum. İsmini görünce ismin Eylül mü? İsmin Eylül galiba. Florida, Chile, Louisiana, Massachusetts, another Lebanese. Yay! California. Oh. Any other Poles here? North Kakalaki? Kakalaki. Evet, Eylül. Merhaba. Oh my god, no way. I'm in Rochester. Guys, when I'm in New York, should I like do a meetup? I'm probably not. I'm probably not, but I was like already casually collecting all the countries. Guys, I'm not the one collecting countries. Toss is the one collecting countries. Toss is the one collecting countries. I'm just here to spread the gospel. Goodness Lord, this is beautiful. I'd fly there so quick if you did. Different parts of the world united by fanfic. Can we just applause? Yes. Artie, what's the language called? I learn it. It's Turkish. And it is kind of a hard language to learn, I think. Because it's... the suffixes get very weird with Turkish. It's not that easy of a language to learn, but oh my god, if you're willing to learn it, that's crazy. Doing the work of the Yuri gods, of course, anytime, baby. I'm still sobbing over Two's Company chapter 30. See, that's the thing with these lives. I can't stay sad that long because I'll just start reading the chat and like yapping with you guys, and I can't stay sad. So it's a good life hack. We need a Roblox meetup because I can't go IRL. I don't play Roblox though. I can't play Roblox. I want Yuri, I want Yuri, I want Yuri. Me. I love yapping. We're chaotic like that. Yeah. Am I the Himajoshi queen, guys? Yay, we cheer you up. Yeah. Get a stand at a con and we will be there. Guys, how do you even get a stand at a con? Like, you have to be requested to cons to get a stand. Guys, everyone pray that I become like a prolific voice actor or some shit. And then I can get a stand at a con. Like, that's the dream. The dream is to be a voice actor. Like, I am a bit scared about AI and shit. You spend money? Oh, I see. Oh, this is like for the... This is for the, like, artist alley and stuff? I will travel to a con so fast if you do. Hey, guys. Book club and Yap club at the same time. Yeah. I'm writing the next chapter right now. Thank you. I also started writing a one-shot because I had an image in my mind. And I was like, wait, I need Polytrix to do this. So I am writing a one-shot. But I don't know if I'll, like, share it. Because I don't know if I'm comfortable with that yet. But I am writing something. Japanese is probably the hardest language I've tried learning so far. Japanese is hard. Can you do a meeting here? I'm in Ankara. Neredesin? Ben Ankara'dayım. Sorry. Phone went to bedtime mode. These are so fun. By the way, if you're reading chapter 30, heavy... Oh, I already read it. We're just yapping. I already read it. And I did give the trigger warning at the very beginning. Because Toss also put the trigger warning at the beginning of the chapter. So I did give the trigger warning. All right, guys. It's 12 a.m. over here. Trying to make an indie show maybe next year. So keeping that in mind. Kocaeli ama üniversite sonucuma göre Ankara'ya gidebilirim. Aa! Süper. Süper. My parents said I might go to Turkey sometime. Oh my god. Guys, meet up in Turkey? That's crazy. You have one fan already. What? Good morning. Hell yeah, follows. Wait, what's happening with Spider? What's happening with Spider? Yeah. I love just missing shit in the chat. Trying my hands affect so I can write as good as Toss when I grow up. Real. Okay, so I'm gonna learn Turkish if it's the last thing I do. No, you don't have to do that. It would be cute. You don't have to do that. It's literally good morning, y'all. Cheeky, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Not the ring. I'm right next to Turkey since I'm from Greece. So I will be coming sometime. Dude, I might be coming to Greece. I might be coming to Greece. It's just that I have a lot of shit going on. But we might be going to Greece. I think it doesn't show you all the messages too. I think it is. It's just moving so fast. For once I thought I made it in time to hear the reading of the fanfic. I'm so sorry. Not Turkish becoming the next English because of not Turkish becoming the next English because of a fanfic. I gotta go. See y'all. Bye, Toss. Bye, Toss. Everyone say bye, Toss. We all accidentally go on vacation at the same place and we just hold a meetup. Bye, Toss. Bye, Toss. Okay. Guys, I think I'm also gonna end. I'm so sorry. It is like 12. It's 2:12. And I think my like family's gonna sleep. Okay, what's the do I actually play the subway as the ending song? Because I like to play a song. I like to play a song to end the end the fic. Your smile is pretty, thank you. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Okay, let's do the subway. Spotify. Let's go to Spotify.